time for us to have more news from our sports studios.
Yes, indeed. Let's start off with some football news. And the Rangers International have regained the leadership of the Nigeria Professional Football League in style after they defeated host Akwa United 3-2 in Uyo today. Rangers took the lead after just 3 minutes when goalkeeper Olufemi Kayode badly misjudged a back pass by defender Harrison Ibukun for an own goal. Fortune Omoniwari then powered home a free header off a superb pullout by Ubong Friday to draw Akwa United level. Chisom Igbechulam netted his 11th goal of the campaign when he slotted home from an Edo Ocheme delivery. Substitute Maurice Chebem then made it 3-1 for Rangers before Omoniwari got his brace in stoppage time.
That was a bullet of a header, at least for the tryouts. Open Namobodo, opportunity, Rangers in the lead again. Chisom Igbechulam with his 11th of the season.
Nigerian striker Fred Friday has signed a 4-year contract with top-flight Dutch club AZ Alkmaar. Friday joined the former Dutch champions from Norwegian club Lillestrøm. The 21-year-old striker is signed as a direct replacement for Vincent Janssen, who has joined English Premier League side Tottenham Hotspur. AZ Alkmaar fought off strong competition from German side Hertha Berlin and Russian club Spartak Moscow to land the prolific forward. And from Stamford Bridge, Chelsea have signed France midfielder N'Golo Kante from Premier League champions Leicester City on a 5-year contract for a fee believed to be in the region of £30 million. Kante is Chelsea manager Antonio Conte's second acquisition following Olympique de Marseille's Belgium striker Michy Batshuayi. The fee paid by Chelsea represents a near 500% profit on the £5.6 million the 25-year-old cost Leicester when he joined from Cannes some 12 months ago. Conte's departure deprives Claudio Ranieri of one of last season's key players as he plans of Leicester's Premier League title. An Egyptian court has released one of the country's top football figures, Hossam Hassan, after he reconciled with a photographer whose camera he smashed during an on-pitch brawl. As a player, Hassan helped Egypt to 3 continental AFCON titles and scored 69 times in the massive 176 international games, although he was also known for his hot temper and frequent fights. The Al Masry coach paid a fine of $56 and was released from Cairo's Tora prison. Mark Cavendish won stage 14 of the Tour de France as fellow Briton Chris Froome retained the yellow jersey. Now, Cavendish, riding for Team Dimension Data, won a sprint finish ahead of Alexander Kristoff and Peter Sagan. It was the Maxman's 4th stage win on the 2016 Tour and his 30th overall, just 4 behind the record of 5-time winner Eddie Merckx. Defending champion Froome finished in 60th on the 208-kilometer stage. And Marc Marquez's fantastic record continued in qualifying as he grabbed pole position for the Germany Grand Prix, while Jorge Lorenzo had a day to forget. Lorenzo had to progress for the first time in his career after failing to post a top 10 time during the weekend's earlier practice sessions. It was a completely different session for his main title rival Marquez, who leads the riders' standings by 24 points. He grabbed pole position with 1 minute 21.16 seconds, while Hector Barbera, who overtook the Honda rider around the circuit, was second fastest, 0.412 seconds off the pace. Valentino Rossi completed the front row of the grid ahead of Danilo Petrucci. And that's a wrap on sports news. I'm Ayotunde Balogun Sulamin. We'll be back with the rest of the news at 10.
Turkey's Prime Minister Binali Yildirim says some 2,839 soldiers, including high-ranking officers, have been arrested over an attempted coup that is now over. At least 161 people were killed and 1,440 others wounded in the coup attempt. Explosions and gunfire were heard in Ankara, Istanbul and elsewhere overnight as thousands of Turks heeded President Erdogan's call to rise up against the coup plotters.
Forces loyal to the Turkish government fought on Saturday to crush the remnants of a military coup attempt. The bid crumbled after crowds answered President Tayyip Erdogan's call to take to the streets as dozens of rebels abandoned their tanks. Dozens of people were killed in the violence that erupted late on Friday after a faction of the armed forces attempted to seize power using tanks and attack helicopters. Some soldiers took over the headquarters of Turkish intelligence and parliament in Ankara. Others seized a major bridge in Istanbul. Gunfire and explosions rocked both Istanbul and Ankara in a chaotic night after soldiers took up positions in both cities and ordered state television to read out a statement declaring they had taken power. However, by dawn, the noise of fighting had died down considerably. Meanwhile, British Foreign Minister Boris Johnson says he has spoken to his counterpart in Turkey to underline the UK's support for the country's democratically elected government following an attempted military coup there.
Obviously, we've been monitoring the situation in Turkey very closely overnight and remain very concerned about what's been going on there. And the first thing to say is obviously we want to urge calm, the avoidance of any further bloodshed, and it's crucial that we support the democratic institutions of Turkey.
Also, Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe expressed concern about the safety of Japanese citizens in Turkey. The Foreign Ministry has already alerted its citizens living in Turkey, believed to be about 2,000, and tourists to be wary of the security situation.
French officials say 5 people believed to be linked to the man who killed 84 people in Nice have been arrested. 2 people were arrested on Friday, and another 3 arrests were made today. Mohamed Boulil drove a lorry through crowds marking Bastille Day on Thursday before he was shot dead by police. The Islamic State militant group claimed the lorry attack was carried out by one of its followers. French President Mr. Hollande will chair crisis talks later. He's already extended the state of emergency by 3 months. And the main news again, the All Progressives Congress today kicked off its campaign ahead of the September 10th governorship election in Edo State. At the event held in Benin City, the state capital, the party chairman, John Odige Oyegun, said the APC flag bearer, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, is the right man to succeed Adams Oshiomhole. Also today, there was outrage as hoodlums descended on a Lagos market to eject the traders from this facility, despite pending court case on the dispute over the planned relocation of the traders. And authorities in Turkey today moved against the plotters of the failed coup in the country and detained thousands of soldiers and other high-ranking government officials over the incident. That's the news at 10 tonight. Many thanks for watching.